Hello, welcome to Garden Chronicles. I'm James David, and today I'll be talking about my Cane Begonia Collection series. These are actually cultivated near the water pond, where I find it is the best location for them to thrive due to the strong humidity factor. Today, in this video, I'll be talking more on the factor of their flowering features and their characteristics. So stick around and enjoy this show. This particular cane begonia is very popular and famously known as Cane Begonia Maculata. I have spoken about this particular begonia way back in my earlier videos based on their hybrids and their different varieties concerning them. A little introduction based on this particular cane begonia. It was one of considered the most trending plants and was highly sought after. And due to that reason, this plant was sold for a crazy price, easily between Rm 300 to Rm 150 per stem. And that is not promising whether it is already been acclimated due to the fact that these were imported plants. I must say it took at least about a year plus for the other growers to actually cultivate them and brought down the price to affordable pricing, and that many people were able to cultivate these in their garden. A little bit of the characteristics of this particular begonia. When this plant was first introduced in the plant market, there were a lot of hybrids that had also been introduced, which created a lot of confusion. Hence, I just want to make mention a little bit of their characteristics. When you look at this particular leaf, the young leaves especially, it will have this olive green kind of colorization on the plant. Another factor that you will also notice is that at the back of the leaf, you will also have the red vibrant underback that is only available for the original Maculata plant. You will not find it that colorization available to the hybrids. Also, you can see there is a kind of winged feature at the stem point. This is only available for the original Maculata. As I mentioned, this is the colorization of the original Maculata leaves. So if you notice that if it is different from this and that if the colors were different, then it is hybrid. Another factor here is that when it comes to Maculata flowers, it will be pure white. Any other hybrids will have a different tones of it, most likely like a off-white or very light green colors. And then the distinct features of Maculata when it comes to their dots, it will be very much uniform and big. I have also came across another breed which is very long, and the dots appears to be lesser than how it appears to be, but those dots are big. So what I've noticed here is that there are new hybrids that been introduced as the years goes by, and what happens here is that a stronger vibrant cultivars has been introduced but is not made mention. So if you are a begonia collector as such as this Maculata types, then I think you can keep an eye on those for more collection, adding more in your collection. Coming to another cane begonia which is not officially named but is highly in the plant circulation. This is very similar to the orange Rubra cane begonia, but this particular one has a pink flowers. I must say that the unique feature about this particular cane begonia, where it has been mislabeled as a Maculata hybrid due to the dots on the leaves. What I want to mention about here is that this dot will slowly fade away when they receive strong indirect light. However, the plus point is that they will start to bloom with this occurrence. As you can see here, these actually do not have the white dots, but they have given out the inflorescence, which is of a stronger pink. Here I'm actually showing to you a slight variation of slight dots that is available on this thing. Another thing that I always do here is I always stick up these cane begonias, because I've always find that they do tend to fall off with their own weight, and so sticking them actually help them for a stronger support where they will not break under their own weight. Here are the rest of my collection. This is actually Begonia torch, and I find that this particular one has not flowered in my garden. Hence, there are some characteristics and certain begonias that they will only be a foliage type and they will not bloom, and so this is one of those kinds where I have not seen them blooming in my garden. One of the emphasis when it comes to cane begonias, of course here I'm actually growing them for the beauty of their leaves. There are some cane begonias that are very strong in their flowering factors and their features, where the flowers are very much dense and colorful, but in this case, when it comes to a tropical garden and in the factor of certain breeds of plants, these particular cane begonias are very much more on leaf features rather than flowers. So if you do have flowers, it will be more on a plus point. This is what I want to show to you concerning the Maculata Albo Picta. It has actually a pinkish flowers, and so this is what I meant when it comes to mislabeling plants. This was what once was identified as Begonia tamaya in the plant market circulation, and so most vendors, they do not do proper research, and so they will just put in what they know best based on their appearance, and so you can only know their characteristics and identity based on all their features available. Hence, one of the features that you can actually identify them is based on the colors of the flowers they produce. Cane Begonia Maculata Albo Picta does have some varieties in this region. There are the types that have a redder flowers, and also I've come across where their leaves, their dots do fade just like the pink rubra. So there are certain featured plants with their varieties. However, I also noticed that at this current moment, a lot of different hybrids were actually been introduced in this few years time. Hence, it will be a little bit more challenging and difficult to actually put an identity to them due to these factors. However, what I can actually advise here is that in the element of being a collector, not to be so concerned about their ID rather than enjoy the plant based on their unique features that is available in your garden. This is actually the pink rubra that is grown. Here it is actually fully exposed in the sunlight. As you can see, the colors of the flowers seems to be more stronger in color, and also when it comes to the leaves, their dot features has slowly faded away. Here you can literally see the at the front part of the leaves, the initial young shoots, there are none of the dots available. And also another feature that I've noticed when it comes to these cane begonia flowers, they are very much, when it comes to flower buds, it will always appear in a bud shape form. So the buds are more on a heart shaped form. So this is one of the unique features which I like, the coin kind of a factor, and it is considered very much dainty looking and is quite interesting when it comes to my garden. This is about within 2 weeks time, and you can see the difference of the flowers where it is more matured, and the flower seems to be how do you say, have changed, and you can actually see the different portions of it. Another factor that I want to talk about to you here is that I also notice there's a kind of a red lining at the border of the border of the leaves. Here you can actually see a clearer view of all the flowers. Do note that these flowers do tend to fall off as the time goes by, so they are quite fragile, so handle them with care. Do not plant them where they are in strong places where they can easily brushed off and may fallen away. Now this is a different type of cane begonia. This is Cane Begonia Sinbad, and I find that their inflorescence, the flowers, seems to be very small and insignificant, and they appear in between the node of the stem and leaves. It's also the same similar characteristic when actually in the appearance when I have seen it on the Cane Begonia burning bush. So I believe that some of it may not be showy like how it was when I showed about these Maculata flowers. However, when it comes to this kind of cane begonias, the leaves are quite big and more showy and give a stronger characteristics. So these are the factors that you may have to take note, that in most cases cane begonias are not the flowering type of begonias where you want to cultivate. If you're thinking of cultivating flowering begonias, do check on the cultivars, because these types are not actually meant for flowering begonias. Another factor here that I want to show to you is the growing habit that I actually cultivated here is to pot them in tight spaces and double pot them due to their to cater for the overwatering factor. So you might find that different begonias, especially even within the Cane Begonia family, each has their own characteristics and their unique features in their liking and growing habits. So it will be a little bit more of a discovery and figuring it out, a little bit of experimenting, a little bit of tinkering, if you were to say that. When they grow enough, then you can actually trim and propagate and see their liking and disliking. I do have to tell you in effect that when it comes to garden, in my own garden, though it is a limited space, in some areas these cane begonias cannot grow. So hence there must be an ideal optimum space or a place where they can actually thrive. So identifying that space is very important, because though they are tropical plants, they are not easy to actually grow in a way that they can actually handle the growing space. Hence, I come to the conclusion of my video today. Hope you enjoyed the show, as I would like to talk about today more on the flowering and their characteristics and their behavior when it comes to cane begonia. If you have any questions, do put them in my comment below, and I will appreciate if you can support my channel by clicking like and subscribing it. Thank you and have a nice day, and see you in my next video. Have a nice day, take care, and bye.